This is why the TBM 960 is dominating private aviation in 2026. And what no one realizes, what virtually every comparison video on this platform refuses to say out loud, is that for the serious private flyer in 2026, this aircraft is not just competitive with a $10 million jet. In the metrics that actually defined a successful private aviation mission, it wins. Nobody talks about the real numbers. Nobody does the 5-year cost analysis on camera. Nobody asks the uncomfortable question, what exactly does that second $5 million buy you on a 700 nautical mile trip? This video is for serious travelers, CEOs, and elite aviation enthusiasts who value performance and luxury without compromise. Buckle up. Let's start where it matters, the performance specifications, because this is where the TBM 960 makes its strongest argument. The TBM 960 is powered by the Pratt & Whitney PT6E66XT engine, a next-generation dual-channel FADEC-controlled turboprop, producing 1,020 shaft horsepower. This is not a legacy power plant. This is the most technologically advanced variant of the world's most proven turboprop engine. Maximum cruise speed, 330 knots, true airspeed at altitude, service ceiling, 31,000 feet. Rate of climb, better than 1,500 feet per minute at sea level to cruise altitude, with remarkable consistency even on hot days or high-density altitude departures. Range with IFR reserves, approximately 1,730 nautical miles. That is Los Angeles to Denver and back, Miami to Montreal, Dallas to Reykjavik with one stop. This is a serious cross-country machine. The honest jet comparison? The Citation CJ4 gives you 451 knots and a range of 2,165 nautical miles. On paper, the jet wins. In practice, on a 700 nautical mile mission, which represents the majority of all private flights in North America, the TBM 960 is 30 to 40 minutes behind. 30 minutes, the difference between arriving first and arriving well-rested in the same aircraft. Step inside the TBM 960. This is where the price justification conversation gets very difficult for the jet lobby. The 2026 TBM 960 cabin seats up to 6 occupants, including the pilot, with generous executive leather seating that Daher has refined over multiple model years. The cabin is 47.2 inches wide at the shoulder, comfortable for serious business travel. Flat floor, full pressurization, maintaining a cabin altitude of 8,000 feet at FL 310. The onboard noise signature in the TBM 960 has been a point of intense focus for Daher, and it shows. Acoustic dampening, laminated windows, and extensive sound insulation treatments bring the cabin noise level to a point where normal conversation, even for passengers seated adjacent to each other, is completely natural. This is not a turboprop cabin of 15 years ago. The onboard connectivity package in the 2026 specification TBM 960 includes high-speed satellite internet, the expectation of every CEO flying privately in 2026. You are working at altitude. You are communicating at altitude. Your cabin is your office, and it is fully equipped. Is the cabin of a Phenom 300E wider? Yes. Is the cabin of a Citation CJ4 taller? Marginally. But for a solo executive or a team of 3 to 4, the TBM 960 cabin delivers 90% of the experience at 50% of the acquisition cost. That math is very hard to ignore. Here is the elite insight that separates serious private aviation thinkers from everyone else. Single pilot certification is not a feature, it is an economic superpower. The TBM 960 is fully single pilot certified. You need one qualified pilot with the appropriate type rating. Full stop. The Citation CJ4 in most corporate operation contexts mandates a 2-pilot flight crew. The direct crew cost difference, one additional qualified business jet pilot at current market rates, is $85,000 to $140,000 per year, every year, for as long as you own the aircraft. The TBM 960's Garmin G3000 NXI suite integrates electronic stability and protection, underspeed protection, TAS-B terrain awareness, and the Garmin AutoLand system, which autonomously lands the aircraft at the nearest suitable airport in the event of pilot incapacitation. This is the most sophisticated pilot assistance and emergency safety system available in the single pilot category anywhere in the world in 2026. Over a 10-year ownership period, the single-pilot certification of the TBM 960 versus a two-pilot jet saves an owner-operator between $850,000 and $1.4 million in crew costs alone. That is before fuel, maintenance, or any other operational delta. Here is the complete 2026 ownership comparison. TBM 960 versus Citation CJ4. 200 hours per year, 5-year ownership window, all costs included. Acquisition: TBM 960 new in 2026 at $4.8 million. Citation CJ4 at $9.5 million. Delta, $4.7 million. In favor of the TBM. Hourly direct operating costs: fuel, oil, maintenance reserves, engine reserve. TBM 960 at $900 to $1,100 per flight hour. CJ4 at $1,800 to $2,400 per hour. At 200 hours per year, TBM annual operating delta of $180,000 to $260,000 in favor of the TBM. Annual crew saving with single-pilot TBM versus two-pilot CJ4, $90,000 to $130,000 annually in favor of the TBM. Annual fixed costs, insurance, hangar, training, TBM 960 at $210,000 to $280,000, CJ4 at $360,000 to $460,000 in favor of the TBM. 5-year total cost of ownership: TBM 960 approximately $9.8 to $11.5 million all in. Citation CJ4 approximately $17.5 to $21 million all in. Total 5-year saving flying the TBM 960 instead of the Citation CJ4, $7 to $9.5 million for a private flyer doing 200 hours per year. That's the number nobody wants to say on camera. And you arrive at 95% of your destinations within 40 minutes of when the jet would have gotten you there, on the exact same routes at nearly the same altitude in a cabin that serves your business needs completely. The TBM 960 in 2026 is the most thoroughly optimized private aviation decision available to the serious single-pilot owner-operator. It is not the compromised turboprop for the buyer who can't stretch to a jet. It is the intelligent capital allocation for the buyer who has done the math and decided that a $9 million premium for 40 minutes of additional speed does not compute. It is the aircraft of choice for executives who want jet performance culture, jet cabin professionalism, and jet avionics sophistication without the jet price tag, the jet crew requirement, and the jet operating costs. Here's our question for you. Would you fly the TBM 960 over a Citation CJ4? And what's the one mission factor that tips your decision? Drop it in the comments. We read every one. If you want more elite insights into the world of luxury private aviation, and you've made it to the end of this video, so clearly you do, subscribe now and turn on notifications, because the aircraft that's redefining what smart private aviation looks like in 2026 is exactly what we cover every single week. See you in the next one.